Hey, Tammy and Annalisa here today. Again, guess what we're talking about today?
Sleep.
Sleep is a pretty big topic, even if you're under 40 these days. I remember being young and hearing old people talk about not sleeping. Now we hear about it even into children. It is crazy.
Everybody's waking up tired, exhausted, and not sleeping good at night. This is actually a huge deal. And you know, especially when we have young kids, there's that whole side of it. But even when you don't have young kids anymore and you're still not getting that restful sleep, you may be wondering why and what can you do about it?
Well, the answer might be simpler than you think. First, I want to talk to you about some stats. 50 to 70 million people in America have a sleep disorder. That's a lot. And 48% snore. Now, I actually think it's more than that.
I think it's more than that.
Think about all those. My husband actually got is it called a defibrillator? He puts this mask on in the night so that he can actually breathe and not wake up from his snoring, right? What is it called? Sleep apnea or something? Mm-hmm. Anyway, it is a huge, huge issue, and they are selling those like you would not believe. This one I thought was interesting. 37% of people fall asleep unintentionally during the day. Like, what?
What kind of jobs do you have that allows this?
I know. I was like, wow, where does this happen? Unintentionally. Anyway, interesting. And then one more I wrote down that I thought was interesting is 30% of people have chronic insomnia. I am someone that suffered with insomnia my entire life, so I understand how hard it is to function without sleep. Why? Why would it be that someone would be suffering from sleep?
I think it's a lot simpler than we think, like you said. I know I have used sleeping pills in the past, and I wake up feeling very exhausted, very drowsy and groggy, and I know it's not good for me. And I think the important thing is to understand why are we not sleeping and work on the root of that, because that is probably the biggest key. If you can figure out why you are not sleeping and what you are lacking, that is going to be the key to getting a better sleep.
Totally. And some questions you want to ask yourself is this: am I having trouble falling asleep? Because that is very different than waking up in the night. And falling asleep often has more to do with the mind. So learning to relax, that's a whole nother topic that we can talk about, is part of it, and learning to ease our mind. Then there is the other part about what is our body depleted in. I can just relate so much. After our brother and sister died, I was on sleeping pills for months, and what happened, and I think this happens to a lot of people, you end up kind of getting addicted or immune to them, so you end up needing more and more and more, and it would help me to fall asleep, but I got to the point where it would only last 15 minutes and I'd be popping another pill. So it was a Band-Aid fix, and it was never really getting to the root.
So vitamins and minerals play a huge part in our body. We know we need them to function, to thrive. Mm-hmm. And vitamins and minerals can be actually the #1 key to getting a restful sleep, the natural way, and getting to the root. So let's talk about that for a second.
Could it be that simple? You guys, someone that I love to study different health gurus, and one of them is Dr. Gerson. I don't know if you guys have heard about Dr. Gerson. Most people have. And one of their main philosophies is to feed the body what it needs. They deal a lot with cancer, to give the body the nutrients and the minerals that it needs, the vitamins that it needs, and the body will heal itself.
So magnesium or deficiency in iron or deficiency in magnesium can be a huge cause for lack of sleep. If you are deficient in iron, you may have what you know as what's commonly called as restless legs. Do you ever have your kids going, "Mom, I can't sleep, my legs are jiggling, they're all over the place"? Restless legs can also have a huge effect on your sleep. And then the lack of magnesium. Magnesium is directly linked to that deep, restful sleep. Now, I was someone that was taking magnesium, but I wasn't absorbing it.
Or taking the wrong kind of magnesium.
Yes.
This is so important. You have to take one that is absorbable, and your body has to be able to absorb. Those are two actually different things. And there are certain foods. Your diet does matter. Not only does it matter that we're getting the minerals in, but it matters that what we're eating, right? What are you eating? Are you sticking to whole, real foods? Or are you eating a lot of processed foods? Those sugars and digesting all that junk is definitely going to take away from your sleep. What are some foods, Lisa, that can help us?
Avocados, almonds, lettuce. Those are all things rich in magnesium that can help with a better sleep.
Greens, think green. We always want to think green. So yeah, that makes a huge difference as well. And you guys, you do not have to live always struggling with not sleeping. There are things that you can do.
So the right type of magnesium to help you sleep is going to be magnesium oxide, magnesium citrate, and bisglycitrate. These are crazy words. But the important thing is you need to have a product or a supplement that is also going to help you absorb what you're taking. And so that has probably been the biggest secret to my success with sleeping, and had such a turnaround because even though I was taking magnesium before, you have to be taking the right type of magnesium and you have to be able to absorb it. And that is the number one key.
That's huge. And Annalisa, didn't you say, what was that, what were you talking about the other day about with Matt? Share that with us.
Yeah, so I was telling my husband just a few short months ago, I cannot imagine falling asleep and not remembering the entire night, tossing and turning. And it has been incredible. Even my husband, who thought he slept well before, is having a restful, deep sleep when you actually get into that restful sleep because you're absorbing magnesium and you wake up completely refreshed. You can't even sleep in if you tried.
I love that feeling. That might be my favorite, is waking up. And I'm an early riser, so I like to wake up at 5 or 6. And now I'm waking up and just with energy, and that feels so good. It feels like, when I was a kid, I would just wake up with such anticipation for that day. I was so excited. And part of that is getting a good sleep, because you all know that if we're not getting good sleep, all we want to do is press snooze and turn over.
Exactly.
And Mom, let's talk about Mom's testimony. That is the craziest one of them all to me, because that woman does not sleep, or has not slept until this last month.
Yes, she's seen a huge change in her sleeping patterns because she is exactly absorbing finally. And that is such a huge difference for someone who hasn't slept in 25 years.
25 years. And she is also someone, I think this is an important fact, she eats extremely healthy. I've never met anyone that actually has eaten as consistently and as healthy her entire life. And she still was not absorbing, even though she was taking in the right foods. And they do their garden, they do everything right, so their food is nutrient dense, but she was not absorbing what she was taking in. And now, voila, she's sleeping.
So we recently added 2 products that have really been a game changer for us in our sleep, as well as so many other health changes. But when you are starting to get those nutrients and you're actually absorbing the minerals that you need, you're gonna see a huge difference in your all over restful, wonderful, sleepy, it makes me tired just thinking about it.
And you're gonna feel like a new person,
Yes.
I promise you, because sleep does amazing things. And your wrinkles are less.
Oh, that's what we want.
Well, it was really important. Let's talk about the real deal here. So hope you learned something. Let us know.